I do not do it for fame. I do not do it for you. I put myself through the pain. Time to start.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Okay, get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. All right. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. So this is The Handmaid's Tale. Okay, my review recap for season 5, episode 2, Ballet. Now, let me tell y'all something. It is the audacity for me. It's the audacity of Serena to act like she's the damn queen, all right? Like they some royalty when she bring her raggedy behind along with Fred raggedy behind, okay, in a box where he belong. And she want this big layout and want him to be treated like he the damn king or whatever, you know, like he's the pioneer of Gilead. And it's like, girl, we have to remind you that you are trash and Fred is trash too, okay? They was through with y'all. They wasn't thinking about y'all. They didn't want to be bothered with you. And you're lucky that they even bringing him back at all to do a damn funeral, okay? So, baby, let's get into this episode. You know, we start out this episode with June, you know, laying in the bed. And now June has basically took all of the thoughts and, you know, feelings that she had for Fred, okay, now that Fred is dead. And she's done transferred them to Serena. She's laying in this bed and she's getting flashes of Serena the same way she was getting them of Fred. She's seeing her when she was abusing her, choking her, throwing her down, and all of that stuff. And she is also seeing when she saw her standing outside with Hannah and she's crying and screaming for Hannah and all of that. And so she gets up and she goes, you know, I'm seeing her take something out the car or whatever, right? And start to dig. I said, well, June, what's going on? Are you just shoveling the snow out the walkway, girl, because you can't sleep? But no, she's trying to bury the gun out in the front yard. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the best idea, girl. But okay, we gonna roll with you with it, right? And so we see that she is basically, you know, still having a hard time. And we also see Serena get here on this plane, okay, and she's basically bringing, you know, Fred behind down in a damn box, like I said. And, you know, it is so ironic that it is Lawrence and Nick that are there to greet her, okay? So they're like, oh, you know, Serena, you know, we are so happy to see you, of course, given all the fake pleasantries. And, you know, she started to tell Nick about how, you know, Fred would be so proud of her and, you know, proud of him, I should say, right? How far he has come. Look at him now. And saying how Fred thought of him as a son. I say, yeah, okay. Then she want to talk about all the hell that June put them through. And Nick was basically like, but I am blessed now, okay, and so are you. And so, of course, Serena was still trying to do her boo-hoo-hoo and give Mark the damn guilt trip, whatever, because when they were still on the plane, he was saying to her, you're going to have security detail. We're going to be watching you. We're going to protect you. They pretty much both are still singing the same song, and she's still going, you're going to protect me like you protected Fran. Oh, really? And so, you know, as they are leaving to go, because Lawrence was like, oh, look at us, you know, we are here and we are basically all acting like, you know, adults and being diplomatic and we're burying the hatchet. And Mark was like, we'll see about that, right? We shall see. And then, you know, they had told her that the Putmans was putting her up or whatever the case may be, and that they thought they would go ahead and escort her to the hotel so that she could freshen up. And she says, well, you know, why don't I go and see what y'all are actually doing, okay? How did y'all prepare this funeral before we get to the hotel, if you do not mind, right? And she was saying to them, like, thank y'all for doing the right thing and putting, you know, Fred up or whatever the case may be, right? Allowing her to bring him home, okay, so that he could get into his resting place. And so, like I said, we being nice right now, right? And as they go ahead and leave from there, they was like, you know, no problem. They bring her to the church and she looking at that church like, I know y'all damn lying, okay? She don't like it at all. She's like, you know, y'all must have picked the damn bottom of the damn barrel. And he's basically saying, you know, he will be laid to rest with, you know, the generals, and he will be buried with, you know, revolutionaries. And so she was like, it's a nice touch. And he said, well, I thought, you know, you would want to hurry up and get back to Canada and move on with your life. Okay, I'm sure you got a whole bunch of stuff to look forward to. And so Serena don't seem like she worried to, hurry up and get back to no damn Canada, But nonetheless, I digress. And so, she ends up saying, look, I seen Dan Fred's body. He was tore up like wolves attacked him, okay? And that did not happen, by no damn one person. I know that it had to be many that was involved. It got me to thinking more about what happened to Fred. And so, Lawrence talking about he can't imagine, and Nick talking about we don't have no control over what Americans do at the border. And so when she comes down and gets closer to Mr. Lawrence, she basically was like, there's only one person that could have that much rage, and there's no way that they did it on their own. They had help. And she basically says to him, how would the commanders feel if they knew a commander helped a handmaid to kill one of their own? And he basically was like, that's a huge accusation you throwing out here, okay? Do you got the proof to back that up? And so she basically was saying, get it done, get him a proper burial, okay? Or I encourage you to make sure that his funeral was proper and one that he deserves. And so he says, I'm just one commander, and Nick is just, starting out. He's just on the rise, and he's still a little puppy, okay? So it's not much that we can do. And she was like, I'm sure that you will figure it out. I say, yeah, okay, Serena girl, bye, all right? And so then we see Aunt Lydia, she getting these handmaids together, all right? And now we see my girl Janine, she's over here trying to do what she got to do. And, Esther, she's still getting cute. She over here saying to Janine, blessed be the stupid fruit. And Janine is like, girl, don't get me into no trouble, okay? Just do what you got to do. And so once they, move on, Aunt Lydia holds Janine to the side and says, you've been doing good, and I see the work you're doing with Esther. She's coming along. The Putmans is actually looking, for a new handmaids, and I think that she is fruitful and she would be the perfect pick for her. So you know what I mean? We want to encourage her and move her along into that area. And Janine, of course, is like, oh, well, do you think I would be able to visit her there? And, Aunt Lydia says, slow your roll, okay? You've been doing good or whatever the case may be. But let's not get too crazy. Let's not go too fast. And so Janine is basically like, okay, because she just gonna roll with the punches. My girl Janine done been through, here and back again, and she just tired of it, all right? And so then we're seeing this setup that they got for Fred. They got his picture up. They got the food spread. Of course, everybody is there to get some free food. They could care less about damn Fred ass. Let's just be real. And, here comes Serena walking in, and she's looking all around. Of course, Mark is looking and observing everything. He going to take advantage while he here and try to see as much as what's going on and how they do things as he possibly can. And they let him know that he can't go no further than right there in that front area, okay? And bring him a plate and tell him to sit his damn behind down. So, nonetheless, we have, the Putmans come over and they're giving their little fake condolences, and, she hugging Serena, whatever the case may be, right? And saying that they're glad to see her, but they're sorry that it's such a sorrowful, occasion. And he's talking about Fred was like a brother to him or whatever, right? And so, but of course, everybody is still saying as far as her pregnancy, that is a blessing, right? And so, she go ahead and take Miss Waterford, back where the rest of the girls is at. And, we still have Mark just looking. He's seeing Lawrence and, Nick walking past, right? And Nick and Lawrence go walking past. And of course, Serena is staring at them because she want to know, are they going to go ahead and fix this situation with Fred or not? In the meantime, she's still doing phony talk with the ladies and saying, the Lord guides our path and all of this type of stuff, right? And then she says, excuse me, and tries to hurry up and get to where Lawrence is going. So she's asking him, did he talk to them yet? And he's like, yeah, it's a no-go. They not trying to do that. And she's like, why? And he was like, the council believes that the current plan is basically sufficient enough. Okay, it is more than adequate. And she was like, did you even ask them? And he was like, we both know how it works here. First of all, a woman's word does not trump a man's or whatever, right? And on top of that, let's not act like Fred wasn't a traitor. I said, and okay, let's not, because Serena really acting like she forgot, and he saw it's her blessed day, Miss Waterford. So he went back there in this room and closed the door. Now, for a minute there, I thought she was about to follow him, okay, but she didn't, not yet, anyway, right? And so, we basically see June. She's there looking at these plants that they growing or whatever, right? And she goes back in the living room, and they're just trying to have, this sit down, play games, chill out type of thing. You could tell she don't want to be bothered, but she trying her best to play along and fit in with them, right? And so they like, oh, who's ready to party and all of this, right? Is Rita, Mora, Luke, and her there. And so, of course, everything is triggering to June, right? She's still having dreams. She's still staring off and seeing flashes of things. When they bring out this Monopoly, she remembers her and Fred playing Monopoly, and Luke does catch on to it and is asking her if she's okay, and she's saying yeah, but obviously she's not. Again, I'm asking, where's the damn counselor at, okay? Obviously, y'all see this girl has PTSD, okay, and dissociating and everything else, and y'all keep trying to act like you don't see it and like she's just supposed to be able to fit back in with y'all, and I'm confused, okay? But nonetheless, when Rita gets up and goes to the kitchen to check on the bread, she follows, and she basically just starts, coming out of nowhere like, oh, remember this, remember that, remember when that happened. And she's like, oh, I wonder what Serena plan is. Why is she going back there? She's just waltzing back and forth like she's a damn queen or something. I mean, hey, I agree with that part, right? And she's basically like, this don't make no sense. I hope she gets what she deserves. When is she going to get what she deserves, right? Are they going to make her handmaidstale? Are they going to put her on the wall? What is going to happen? And at this point, Mara walks in the kitchen too. And so she was like, maybe they'll take her baby away from her and make her a handsmaid. And they just all looking at her like she got 3 damn heads. And so then she brings up like, remember the time that she slapped you? She basically slapped you because, what I'm saying, she couldn't hit me because I was pregnant. So Maura's like, Jesus, June, calming down. And then Maura's like, Rita's like, yes, of course I remember. At this point, June is telling her, shut the fuck up, June, okay? And she was like, still going on, still not listening to them. And then Rita basically screamed, shut up. And that's when she finally, snaps out of it. And Rita was telling her, I may not have been a handmaid, but I struggle too, or whatever the case may be. I still struggle every single day, right? And so I know that, again, like I said, everybody takes things in different ways, but I feel like they're not really seeing that they have been here longer than damn June, and they don't know everything else that she's went through from the time when she was still there and they was gone, and so Maura's asking her again, like, what the hell is wrong with you, right? And then, Mark is trying to creep around as much as he can, okay, because they told him to stay in that area, and he's just trying to observe everything that's happening. He looking over at Nick like he wanted to talk to him, but as soon as he was about to, Aunt Lydia comes in with the girls. And so here go Mark talking about some damn, praise be, and he was like, Aunt, and she was like, Aunt Lydia, what I'm saying? Like, as if, how the hell you ain't gonna know, who I am? He was telling her blessed day. And so, she go ahead and showing the girls in or whatever. And, you could tell that damn Esther don't want to be there. Poor Esther, she over it. She don't want to be there. But right now, she don't have no choice. She's looking miserable. And as they walk in and they're standing in there, Lydia comes in, of course, and says hi to Serena. Her and Serena give their fake pleasantries. And, of course, she's also telling her, the Lord has shined upon you or whatever, right, with this pregnancy. And, Serena saying she grateful to be his instrument. And Lydia saying, well, you are, okay. And, it's wonderful to see you. You are such a marvel, Miss Waterford, right? And so she tells Miss Putman to follow her and brings her in there so that she could see Esther. And Miss Putman is kind of like, she's a little young, right? She was like, yeah, but she got herself together. She know what to do. She know what, I'm saying, to say. And in the meantime, Janine is just trying to say her, listen, follow the rules, trust me, and you will be okay, all right? It's better that than ending up dead, honey, because all they're going to keep doing is torturing you over and over and over. So when she brings her in, like I said, she first was like, I don't know, she's a little bit young, isn't she? But they say she knows what to do, and she was like, when wasn't she supposed to be a wife before? She was like, yeah, that's what makes it even better, because she knows, you know what I'm saying, all the rules, and she knows what is expected and what a wife would be, you know what I'm saying, deserving of. And so she's like, okay, yeah, whatever, like, in other words, fine, I'll take her. So, we have Janine's little girl come run to her, and of course, she trying to hug her and hold on to her for a minute, hey, sweet girl, can I have a hug and all of that. She's just happy to get the hug real quick, and then she lets her go, and you know what I'm saying, the little girl goes running off. So Miss Putman talking about, I thank God for her every day, because Janine just was like, you have a beautiful daughter, and she had a little sad face for a minute there after she said, I thank God every day. But then she says, and I thank the person that was able to give her to me too. And Janine had a little smile when she said that. So in the meantime, Esther's going in to see Mr. Putman. Okay, it's a room full of men, but then he asks everybody to excuse them. And he says, Lydia, you too. And at first she's like, excuse me. And then he's like, blessed day, Aunt Lydia. And she's like, oh, okay, sir. And she leaves. So he's over here telling Esther she don't gotta be scared or whatever. And he feeding her these damn chocolate balls, girl. And it was grossing me out, okay? Grossing me out. So I know Esther was gross because I was gross for her. But, she taking these damn bites off of it or whatever, right? Because she really knows that she don't have no other damn choice. And so, we basically are seeing that June is still going through it, all right? And, we have Luke sitting here talking to her, drinking a beer, and he's kind of saying, you got to let this go. Right now, you are getting fixated on her. And she was also letting him know, like, Serena knows I killed him. And he was like, how the hell she know? She was like, I did something. And she tells him, of course, about mailing the damn finger. And he was like, why would you do that? Are you putting us in danger? Is she going to come after us now? Because she was like, I wanted her to know that it was me. And now she knows that, and Luke was looking at her like, what? When she said she mailed the finger or whatever. And so, she's laughing about it, and he's literally like this. And I say, y'all still don't realize that this girl has cracked, do y'all? And so, she says that she wants her to know what she's capable of, and that she's not scared of her either, right? And so, like I said, to Luke, he's saying, you're just obsessing over her. This is not going to get Hannah back. And she's like, don't you think I know this is not going to get damn Hannah back? So he keeps talking about some, you got to try to live as much of a normal life as you can. You got to let this go. Can we just do normal? Can we just do us? Can we just think about us? But it's like, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, how the hell can you be normal and just think about y'all when y'all damn child is still over there? But, she says, you're right. I'm going to try. She was like, she's going, and she's probably terrified, of June and everything. And that, I'm saying, she's one, and that she's there and she can't get to her and all of this, right? So this is what, he's telling her to basically calm her down and get her mind off of her. So June is like, yeah, forget about her. Whatever. We moving on, right? And so they go ahead and hugging it out. So now, you have Serena. We should have known she wasn't going to wait and just stand there and take that no. She goes in to ask to speak to them. And she's basically saying, like, Fred did a lot and he helped Pioneer and all the stuff that she already was telling Lawrence. And she says, I think we should show them. It should be a public display or whatever the case may be, to let them know that we mourn the same way that they do, right? So now not only does she want a bigger funeral, but she wants a public funeral that would be televised so that everybody could see how they mourn and how they honor his legacy and all this type of stuff. And so, she first was thanking them for them even putting them up and all of that. And he's like, you're welcome. And so he was saying, like, why would we do that? And she was like, this is something that could be big for all of us. It could give all of us respect and show our unity and show them that we grieve just like they do, And so even Lawrence joins in and tries to back her up. And basically the guy, Mr. Putman, called Lawrence out like, why should we be listening to you, a man who has no wife, no handmaid, no nothing? And he was like, oh, thank you very much for, reminding me of my wife's untimely death. But he was like, at the end of the day, regardless of what my situation may be, what she is saying does have some type of valid, reasoning to it, and it could help. And so one of the other ones is like, and it might not be as bad as it may sound, right? That they shouldn't squander this opportunity. And you have, Nick join in too, saying this could be big. The public of, opportunity of them mourning in the public would show, Nick says is merciful. They would look very merciful because the guy was like, how exactly would that make us look? And so they say, let them think on it and let them talk about it. Now, on this ride back home with the handmaids, you have Esther saying, so, it's a good thing to be pregnant or whatever. She's basically talking to, Janine, and she's holding her hand and stuff like that. And Janine is telling her, yes, the faster you get pregnant, the better. While you're pregnant, that would basically be protection from, it's your only protection, okay? And so Esther's just basically looking at her, and then she puts her hand back on her lap or whatever, right? And they continue to ride. So, you have Commander Lawrence come and let Serena know that they said yeah. And she was like, what changed their mind? And he was like, basically, I'm saying, because it came from men, right? It wasn't a woman. And so, Mark tells them, I'll leave y'all to go ahead and discuss what y'all got to discuss. And, Lawrence says, thank you. So he sits down and she starts giving him this guest list, and he taking out a pen and paper, okay, and writing down the names of these people that she wants to be there. So then we see that, Nick is sitting here in the car and he's smoking a cigarette and he waiting for somebody, and who pulls up, but Mark. And he essentially comes up to him and says, I've been waiting to speak to you. And Nick was asking, how is, baby Nicole? And he was like, she is good. She is being, cared for. And he told him, I see how, you rose fast here and you got things going on and all of that. And he basically was like, that takes talent for somebody to be able to fly under the radar like that, right? And Nick tells him he's just staying out of trouble. And he was like, well, somebody like you, we could actually use your help. I think we could help each other. Wouldn't you like to see your daughter in person? I can make that happen. And Nick was saying that's a pipe dream. And he was like, well, it's really not, as complicated as you may think, okay? America can be a very forgiving place. And so he was like, if you make amends and you help us out and help us gain visibility, then, play your part for a while. We could probably do some things for you, right? And he was like, I would love to help you and your daughter. And so, he was like, if you let me. And so Nick was telling him like, I will see, okay? I will keep that in mind. And I said, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but Nick says he will remember that. I don't know how I feel about that one, because I feel like both of them be flip-flopping at times. So then we seeing like this back and forth, right? We seeing Serena getting herself ready for the funeral versus June getting ready for the ballet, right? And they're both basically getting dressed, putting whatever different accessories on, and we're having the back and forth of that. And then we basically have Esther come and bring Janine these chocolates, okay, and say, I done snuck these in here for you, girl. I got us some treats. And so, they sit in there at first, and she's like, oh, I see you got to see your daughter, whatever the case may be, and it must be hard having to leave her behind. And Janine is basically like, you get used to it, She was like, unfortunately, it's not nothing that we could do about that. And she was like, but it's no feeling like, being pregnant. I can't describe it as the most different feeling in the world to know that, you have this life growing inside of you. And she's showing her, the chocolates, and she like, I stole this from Mr. Putman, one little rebellion won't hurt, and we could just have this in between us. So as they sitting there munching on the chocolates, like I said, Janine is continuing to tell her like, yes, it's so different or whatever when you're pregnant or whatever the case may be, right? To know that you're bringing this life into the world. She said it's weird at first, but having a baby really is the most incredible thing or whatever, right? Tiny little feet, tiny little hands growing inside of you and all of that. And so she was like, it's just wild. It's not like something that you could never even imagine or whatever, right? And so, of course, it is hard to have to leave the baby after it is born. And, as her and Esther are eating, she's saying they treat you like a princess while you're pregnant. You could get anything that you want and all of this type of stuff, right? And so, Esther's like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, I want to see, Janine was telling Esther, I want to see if Lydia would maybe have us be like walking partners or whatever once you go there to stay. And so, we see Esther just sitting there staring at her and looking at her as she's taking these bites, and Esther's looking down and she got this little smile on her face. And then she's like, you really liked me when we first met. And Janina's laughing like, yeah, and she's like, no, you didn't like me. You didn't care about me at all. You basically just went there to be able to see your daughter and be with your daughter again. And you want me to be put there so that, that's convenient for you and you would be able to come and see your daughter while you there. And she's like, no. She was like, of course, I'm saying I'm happy to see her too or whatever, but that's not what it is. And Esther's telling her, you lied to me. You used me. And she's like, no. She was like, you're just like Aunt Lydia. She like, no, girl, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. She was like, you lied like they all do or whatever. So she was like, you're one of them. And Janine is steadily shaking her head no. And she's like, no, I was trying to help you like June helped me. And she was like, you're not June. She was like, you are a disgrace. I said, well, wait a minute. What the hell going on here, Esther? Okay. She's talking about some I hate you or whatever. So she like, what? So the next thing you know, damn Esther start gasping and coughing and blood is coming out her mouth. And then Janine trying to bend over and help her and cough. Help child. Janine start coughing and saying, what the hell did you do? What did you do? What did you do? And blood coming out damn both of their mouths. And then Aunt Lydia and them is trying to run in there and be like, what happened? What happened? What happened? And, calling for help or whatever, saying, oh God, no, what did you do? What did you do? And I said, I know damn well Janine ain't go through all of this, y'all, for y'all to treat her like this, and she better not die. If she die, it's like y'all could have let her damn die in the freaking rubble for this, okay? That really pissed me the hell off. I get it, girl, Esther, but you doing too much. So nonetheless, we get to Raggedy Fred's funeral, Serena over here doing her crying over the damn casket, and Lawrence tell her take all the time she needs. She says she's ready. Then they start with this parade through the streets, and of course it's being filmed and put out on this damn broadcast. At the same time, we seeing of course, June and Luke at the ballet. She's actually starting to enjoy it and smile or whatever. And when it's finished and they coming out, he's like, so can we have more dates? All right. This is not going to stop us from being able to have, more dates. This is just the beginning one, right? You're going to be asking for more. And it seems like they were somewhat getting into a good place. So, of course, we cannot have that happening, honey. As they are in the middle of kissing, and June looks up, we see the televised thing coming across all the screens down where they at. And we're seeing that, the kids are basically coming out. I don't know if that's where they was living at or the school or whatever, but they're coming out from there. And who's the first damn one to walk up? So, of course, this is what Serena wanted to do. This is her way to get back and to show June, like, yeah, I'm still out here, okay, wrecking shit and messing up shit and in your face, and I'm right here standing with your damn daughter, okay? And as she look up, June is like, what the hell? And you seeing Hannah walking up to her, handing her a damn freaking flower, and then she's standing holding damn hand up by her shoulders and staring into the damn screen. And even Luke had to look like, what the hell is this? And they both looked pissed, okay? They both looked like they was about to be ready for damn war, okay? For the first time, Luke looked like he was on the same page with damn June. And I'm saying, Miss Serena, you over here talking about she a monster and they don't know who she is and how they gonna protect you and acting like you all shook. You ain't that shook, baby. You calling for war. And better believe that June is going to give you exactly what you asking for. You are begging to be killed, honey. Okay? Begging for it. But that was basically how the episode ended, guys. You tell me what you thought about this episode, what you think is going to be going down now, what you think Serena next move going to be, what you think June next move going to be. Put it all in the comments, okay? Let's discuss. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined, okay? Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. All right, y'all. Till next time. Toodaloo.